Ladies and gentlemen, we go from Watkins Glen International, which was our only road course of the season, to now under the lights at the Kansas Speedway, the first mile-and-a-half track of the season, one of two. The second being Las Vegas, which we'll be making the trip to after Knoxville in a couple weeks' time, so that's going to be very interesting. But we're going to be focusing on Kansas this week. I do apologize for being just a couple of days late with this race. I just kind of got a little bit lazy, but also at the same time I was busy. So I kind of was in the mix of being busy and lazy all at the same time. But here we are, we're doing this race. It's going to be 41 laps around this mile-and-a-half racetrack, and this action is just picking up. I mean, we're already in the second half of the season. Action is starting to pick up. The points battle is as close as can be, and we already have 7 different winners this year. And we've seen a lot of competition. Just definitely a lot of competition because of this. In case you missed it, last week at the Watkins Glen International, the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series returned after a 56 race or 56-day hiatus. The last race was back on May 29th of this year, and the drivers got back on track about last week in July. And it was a caution-free race. Everybody minded their own P's and Q's. Nobody smelled what the rock was cooking. And our pole sitter, which was this man, Sean Ard, went to victory lane and nabbed his first win of the season. And because of that win, leading nearly every single lap, he not only got 34 points for finishing in first, he got a bonus point for leading a lap, 5 bonus points for leading the most laps, and also 10 bonus points for winning the race. So now he joins that small list of drivers who were able to do that. Jimmy Hogan, who you see there in that number 52 machine, did just that in Stafford earlier this year by leading every single lap in that race. But as far as Sean Ard, he went from 31st in the standings to 15th on the points charts because of that dominating performance that he put down at Watkins Glen. So things are definitely looking up for Sean Ard. He may be starting in the back, which he's got a little bit of work cut out for him, but still, it's going to be very interesting to see how Sean Ard is going to perform here in this race. Alrighty folks, so let's go ahead and review your point standings coming into Kansas Speedway. Ryan Fowler, after a very good performance on his part, he goes back to the points lead with 181 points. Addison Jarrell is breathing down his neck by 5 points. 5 points off from Ryan Fowler. Then you have Tyler Ferris, who falls back to third. He is 12 back. Then you have Carter Joey and Nathan Stapleton, both tied for the 4th position in the points, but because of Microsoft Excel physics, Carter Joey winds up on top. Nathan Stapleton will be scored 5th in the standings. And you got Shauna Martin, who is 21 points back. She is 6th on the charts. She fell a little bit back in the point standings, but not by much. Easton Myers is 7th in the points. David Byers 8th. Bradley Ream 9th. Bronson Minnick rounds out the top 10. After this race, we'll have 4 more races to go. The points, I think, are just going to get a little bit more shaken up after tonight. So we're just going to have to wait and see what will happen after 41 laps of racing. So with that, I think I've done enough talking. I have spoken my piece, and I think I'm going to let the drivers do the rest of the talking from here. The drivers have strapped into their cars. Pre-race ceremonies have just now started to wrap up, but in order to get these cars rolling, we got to get the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Engines have fired, pace car is rolling off, and so are these 34 drivers as they roll out for their pace laps. Here's your starting lineup for the Propel 150 race number 8. The drivers have just received 1 to go, and we'll be ready. Well, we are ready to go green flag racing this time by Amy Wilderotter, who has had herself not the best season. She wounds up 31st in the standings, similar spot to where Sean Ard was before his win at Watkins Glen. She starts on pole alongside Owen Miles. Then you got Chad Myers in the 25, Allison Rain in the 7, up in the second row, and then Kyler Anderson rounds out the top 5. Pace car is off. Wilderotter, Miles lead him to green to kick off race number 8. 4 races left after today. Double file all the way through the field. Wilderotter up on the outside, Myers on the inside. And the inside line is going to prevail coming off of turn number 4. And it will be Chad Myers leading lap number 1. So he's already gotten a bonus point tonight. Does Chad Myers. He takes off with the lead. Everybody is going really wide through the corners. It looked like we were going to go 4 wide just for a second. But just look at how wide these drivers are going through the corners. You got Gordon moving up into the 3rd position. That's Brandon Yodel in the 05 right behind him. Let's take a look back here. A lot of the action is taking place here. Look at some drivers going on down in the apron. Our points leader, Ryan Fowler's in this mix. Look at this. Lots of good racing happening here at Kansas Speedway. You got Shauna Martin starting to work her way up through the field. Owen Miles started this race on the outside of the front row. He has now just slipped outside of the top 10. Meanwhile, up front, it's Gordon who leads the charge coming down off turn 4, heading to the start-finish line. Gordon leads that lap. I'm just scrolling through the field, making sure that we don't have any problems. Kyler Anderson starting to slide back in that number 01, and he's up against the wall. So this field is starting to get strung out just a little bit. Brandon Yodel in the 05 to the inside, taking over the top spot easily. Sean Ard, sideways off the corner, saves it. Sean Ard nearly caused a crash after getting sideways, but he saved it. I thought I saw the yellow flag out, but we did not. We stay green. We are 4 wide going into turn number 1. Val Mosco up against the wall. Mosco scrapes it, loses momentum up on the outside, checks up the entire outside, going back into 1. See Quentin Moore try to get underneath of both Sean Ard and Stephen Colon as they come off the corner. 3 wide. Moore is going to get the position on both of them. So right now your top 10 looks like this as they crossed the line. Easton Myers was the leader. Steven Alexander 2nd. Brandon Yodel was 3rd. Jimmy Hogan was scored 4th. Wilderotter, Gordon, Chad Myers, Fowler, Kidd, and House. That was your top 10 when they crossed the stripe last time around. Jimmy Hogan started deep in this field. He is already within 7 laps, or 6 rather, moved up to 2nd. He moved to 2nd. Wilderotter, who started on the pole position, has already worked her way back up inside of the top 5. She's up to 3rd, trying to get around Jimmy Hogan. And there's the top 2 in the point standings. That's Ryan Fowler, Addison Jarrell, both 1st and 2nd in points. They've both worked their way back up inside of the top 10. Kidd getting around Gordon. That is for the 9th spot. Joey Miles has now worked his way into the picture. Nathan Stapleton, who has had himself a solid, consistent... Oh, we got a crash on the backstretch. Crash on the backstretch. Oh, no. Bronson Minnick, Bradley Ream. They're both in the top 10 in the standings. They're involved. Owen Miles went around on the back straightaway. Caution is out, and it's Amy Wilderotter who will lead him back to the line. Steven Alexander will cross the line in 2nd. Got to make sure that these drivers get single file in a good fashion. And it looks like they're going to be able to do just that. There's Kyler Anderson. Heavy damage to the 01 machine. What is even happening to Owen Miles? Uh-oh. Owen, what are you doing, buddy? Owen. I don't know what's happening to Owen Miles. But anyways, pit stops are taking place under the yellow flag. It looks like Amy Wilderauer is going to lead him down. Alexander will follow. Same for Chad Myers, Jimmy Hogan, Addison Jarrell, Easton Myers, Ryan Fowler, Billy Kidd, amongst others, coming down onto pit road. Looks like this is almost everybody coming onto pit road. So let's see who's going to win the race off. Looks like some drivers are getting 4 tires and topping off on fuel. And it looks like that's going to be the case. The left side on Wilderauer goes up. Here comes Allison Rain on pit road. Well, she's making her stop. But Amy Wilderauer wins the battle off of pit road. Alexander comes out second. Hogan third. Ronald House fourth. Chad Myers fifth. Jarrell. Then Easton Myers. Fowler, Stapleton. And I believe Joey Miles will complete your top 10 coming out of the pits. So it's Amy Wilderauer who reassumes the lead coming out of pit road. Let's go back and see what happened. That caused our first caution of the night here at Kansas. So at nighttime like this, you would expect the grip level to be up. But when the grip level is up, so is the speeds. Look at this as they come off of turn, because they're trying to get off of turn number 2. They are 5 wide. 5 wide. Enough room for 6 wide. That's enough room for one more lane. They would have been 6 wide. But you see Quentin Moore, he tries to get off the wall, but he comes down into Stephen Colon, who then comes down in front of Owen Miles, and there they go around on the back straightaway, all 3 of them, synchronized spinning. Sean Ard gets involved in that just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. There's where Kyler Anderson gets his damage. That's where Kyler Anderson gets involved. Then he shoots back up into Bronson Minnick, who then shoots up into Bradley Ream, squeezes him, pinches him out, gets into Jeffrey Holcomb, and Foster Henderson is right in front of this, and he goes up into the wall. So that's 5 cars jammed up on the outside wall in turn 3. And that, man, we had some really good racing at the beginning of this whole thing, but caution has come out for the first time, and it involves the 2 drivers that are inside of the top 10 in the standings. Bradley Ream is 9th, and also Bronson Minnick is 10th. Both of them 1 point apart from each other. So we're riding along now with Foster Henderson. So this wreck happens. He tries to say hi. He holds his line. He could have went down to the bottom, but he was already committed up to the outside. There really was nobody else to his inside. So he could have very well, I don't know if he could have turned down to the left to try to avoid it or not, but still, he was already committed to the outside. From Allison Rain's perspective, that is 5 wide right in front of Allison. And then they just spin. She does a great job staying up on the outside, and then look behind. She just rides up against the wall while that wreck happens behind her. But Allison Rain, nonetheless, most likely got that damage assessed, and got whatever mild damage that she had on her car assessed, and 4 tires, and looks like she's still going to be in this thing regardless. So the first caution of the night, it is out here at the Kansas Speedway for race 8 of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. It involves 2 of the top 10 drivers in the point standings. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back for the restart. One lap, and we will be back to green flag racing here at the Kansas Speedway. Amy Wilderrotter is going to be leading them back to the green flag once we begin lap 13. Then it's Steven Alexander in second, Jimmy Hogan third, Ronald House fourth, Chad Myers fifth, Addison Jarrell sixth. Then it's Easton Myers seventh, Ryan Fowler eighth, Nathan Stapleton ninth, and Joey Miles completes the top 10. Kyler Anderson back out on the racetrack. Anderson is a lap down. And also, I believe the only two drivers out of the race are Bradley Ream and Owen Miles in the 46. Those are the only two drivers who have unfortunately smelled what the rock was cooking. Other drivers that were involved in that one, Bronson Minnick is still out on the racetrack. He's 31st. He's on the tail end of the lead lap, even though he's not in front of Amy Wilderrotter. And same can be said for Jeffrey Holcomb. He is 30th. Here we come for the restart. It is Amy Wilderrotter who is going to lead him back down. Great restart by Wilderrotter, and same can be said for Steven Alexander. He immediately jumped up to the outside to try to get a good run on the number 5, but so far that is not the case. Look at Hogan coming to the inside of Steven Alexander for the second position. As they race back down into turn number 3, Wilderrotter gets the lead. Chad Myers, if he had the run, he could have very well made it 3 wide, but he did not do that because he did not have the good run. That is probably a no-dip Sherlock moment, but you know what I mean. Wilderrotter really high in through turns 1 and 2. That'll open the door for Jimmy Hogan to drive underneath. Something to point out here, of the drivers inside of the top 10, I see only 3 of them that have already won this year. Jimmy Hogan won at Stafford, Ryan Fowler won at Daytona, Steven Alexander won at Phoenix. And those 3 are trying to get their second wins of the season and trying to make history. Hogan reassumes the lead, and Wilderrotter has fallen just outside of the top 5. She has fallen back to, I want to say, 7th, and is going to lose the 7th spot here to Billy Kidd. Here they come off of turn number 4. It's Addison Jarrell now who takes over the top position. Let's take a look back through the field here. That's Noah Clifton in the 44, who I saw on the apron trying to get around Nathan Stapleton. He's going to come right up in front of Stapleton and is going to go to the inside of Brandon Yodel in the number 05. This is the battle, what looks to be for the 14th position. He's riding along with Stapleton. And look at Noah. Noah Clifton has got a really fast car. Already moving up into the, well, now 16th position, rather. So now Clifton has moved up to 16th and is going to try to go after David Byers for the 15th position as they head in back into turn 3. Look up front, 3 wide for the lead. Jimmy Hogan just tried to take it back. Now they're 3 wide for second. Myers on the apron. Jarrell is going to get the spot. Fantastic racing here at the Kansas Speedway. Now Chad Myers now moves up into second. Jarrell up into the outside wall. 3 wide once again. I thought they were going to wreck right there, but so far they've kept it together. Alexander and Fowler nose to tail as they try to move up inside of the top 5. Alexander has done just that. But Fowler wants inside of the top 5. He wants another win this season. He's probably just as hungry as Steven Alexander is to get his second win of the season. Maybe hungrier than Jimmy Hogan. Myers in the 25 dips low. He's got a nose underneath. He's going to try to take the lead away. Coming off of turn number 4. He's got a little bit of a run to do it. He's on the inside. He's alongside down into 1. Can he get a nose ahead? He will. And it's going to clear the 52 for the lead. Now here comes Joey Miles in the 10 to the inside. The whole field is single file until you get over here to Wilderrotter and Easton Myers. That is for the 9th position, I want to say. coming to the line. Easton gets the position on Wilderauer. And now here comes Noah Clifton in the number 44. Look at Stapleton in the 28. Diving low. Trying to get as many spots as he can. Stapleton wants to stay into this championship fight. And who can really blame him? Here they come to the stripe. 20 laps to go. Fowler making a little bit of contact with Joey Miles. That was for second. Ronald House has taken the lead. And has led a lap. I think this is the first lap that he's led all night. Maybe the first lap that he's ever led here in the season. I believe so, but I may be wrong. I most likely may be wrong on that. But still, we're now inside of 20 to go. So anything could really happen within 20 to go. So there could be a crash within the next 20 laps. There could be, the race could come down to fuel mileage. Somebody could try to throw a gamble, try to gamble, roll the dice and see what happens. And we're also going to see a huge point shakeup. Not really huge, but maybe with the way that the points have just gone so far this season, we could see a shakeup. Here comes Fowler to the inside of Ronald House for the lead. Jimmy Hogan on the inside trying to follow. Still side by side. Fowler is going to get the spot. Hogan is going to follow. Same for Steven Alexander. Those three drivers that were on the inside were the winners of the first 3 races this year. Another winner has already come up inside of the top 10. That's Tyler Ferris in the 69. Ferris is not too far behind in this championship fight. He is just 12 points out of the points lead from Ryan Fowler, who now is the leader of the race. Coming up on 15 to go and just a couple laps time. Amy Wilderauer, like I said, she is 31st in the points standings. If she can maybe finish right where she is now, if not maybe better or even win the race, she would definitely help herself massively in the points. I believe the caution is out again. Yes, it is. Fowler leads him down. It looks like there was a crash with Val Moscow in the 23. He's just now getting back up to speed. But oh my goodness, this is going to throw a huge monkey wrench into how this race concludes. This is going to be interesting. Oh, actually, it kind of looks like a spin down the back stretch going down onto the apron for Val Moscow. But here we go. This is going to be the money stop right here. From here, these drivers will be good to go the rest of the way. But the question is, who is going to come out with the lead? Will it be Ryan Fowler? Will it be Ronald House? Will it even be Steven Alexander or Jimmy Hogan? Somebody who hasn't really made a lot of noise this season. How about Billy Kidd in the 6? He could wound up getting his first win of the season. He's come close a couple of times. Maybe he could probably nail it on pit strategy. Maybe he could try to get lucky on this one, come out with a lead, and try the very best he can to stay up close to the front of the pack and come out in the front. He could very well do it. Well, let's just see what happens here. Drivers taking right sides. Fowler comes out with the lead. Joey Miles comes out second. Ronald House comes out third. Alexander fourth. Kidd comes out fifth. Sean Ard comes out in the 6th position. Then it's Jarrell coming out 7th. Wilderauer 8th. Stephen Wallace Jr. 9th. And Jimmy Hogan comes out 10th. And we do have a couple other drivers that could very well bust inside of the top 10. Maybe Blaze Aiken in the 90, Mitchell Collins in the 32. We haven't really talked a lot about Collins, but he is now just outside of the top 10 and probably finding himself in a good position to where he could maybe get his second win of the season. Oh, but Joey Miles in the 10, I believe he might have just gotten a pit road penalty. I believe Joey Miles might have just gotten a pit road penalty, and that's going to do it. That's going to do it for Joey Miles. He is out of this race for the win. Oh my goodness gracious. What a heartbreaker for Joey Miles, but Ryan Fowler retains the lead. Let's see what happened to Val Moscow that brought out our second caution of the race. So this is exactly what it was. This is what Val Moscow, this is basically what happened to Val Moscow. Seymour and Robinson kind of got together and they came up into Val Moscow, sending him for a spin. Luckily, no damage to the 23. He's going to be able to keep going. He's also got some 4 fresh tires and is going to be able to finish the race with very minimal damage to his number 23 machine. So, now that we know what happened to Val Moscow in this 23 machine, it is Ryan Fowler who is the leader. So let's rejoin the field for the restart here in Kansas. We're back here at the Kansas Speedway, 1 to go. We'll be ready to go back to green flag racing. And we just figured out why Joey Miles got a pit road penalty. The reason was when he exited his pit, the speed limit on pit road, I believe, was 55, and he went up to 57, hence causing a pit road penalty. It was a stop and go penalty for Joey Miles, and they also used that time to check the right sides to make sure that they were good to go, make sure all the lug nuts were tight, and Joey Miles rejoins the field all the way back in 31st. So it is unfortunately over for Joey Miles. Here's the field coming to the restart. This time, it's Fowler the leader, House, and then it's Alexander, Kidd, Ard, who could wind up getting his second win of the season. Then it's Jarrell, Wilderotter, Wallace, Hogan, and Aitken. That is your top 10 coming to the restart with almost 12, well now 12 laps to go. And once again, Kyler Anderson does not get a good restart at all, as expected. But now here comes Ronald House in the number 2 to the inside. House is going to try to take the lead. Alexander's going to follow. How about Billy Kidd? Oh, Sean Ard! He's slowing down. He's coming to pit road. Ard is coming to pit road. Oh, no! What a tough break for Sean Ard, but now that stacks everybody up here. And also in another chunk of the pack that's up here. 4 wide. 4 abreast going through 1 and 2. Jarrell up against the wall. The battle is on for the 5th position, I would say, between Wilderotter and Hogan. Hogan's going to win that battle. Wilderotter going to slip back. Ronald House is the leader with 10 laps to go. Hogan into the wall. That's going to allow Ferris to try to drive underneath. Noah Clifton is in this picture. He's now inside of the top 10 and is going to try to get a nose underneath at the 69. Shauna Martin was another driver that had to come into pit road. Here comes Kidd to the inside. 3 wide for the 4th position. Ferris is going to get that. Just barely thread the needle. A little bit of contact made between Clifton and Ferris. Clifton is going to be able to hang on and is still alongside Tyler Ferris. So now Ferris is going to lose the 4th spot to Clifton, and now here he comes. Clifton with an amazing car. Goes to the inside. He'll take the 2nd position away and is now going to set his sights on Billy Kidd. Holy cow, Noah Clifton has got a really fast machine right underneath him. And he has a shot to win this thing. We're inside of 10 to go, so anything can really happen between now and the final lap. Ferris to the inside of Billy Kidd. Well, not Billy Kidd, but Noah Clifton, excuse me. Billy Kidd is still out front. He's clear. Not anymore, because here comes Tyler Ferris in the 69 underneath him. 7 to go. This time, Kidd leads it at the stripe. Boy, if that was the finish of the race, that would have been a very close one. 2/100ths of a second. Tyler Ferris trying to get his 2nd win of the season and trying to get back up into the points lead. Ryan Fowler could very well hang on to the points advantage if he manages to stay up inside of the top 10. Maybe if not, get inside of the top 5. We'll just have to wait and see what happens here within these final 6 laps now Ferris still hanging on to the lead. Easton Myers in the 38 is right there in tow. Hogan under fire from Noah Clifton for the 3rd position. Clifton trying to clear the 52 for the 3rd spot. So far not having any of it. Now he clears the 52 of Jimmy Hogan. 5 laps to go. Hogan into the wall. Now he's going to lose a little bit of momentum. And maybe fall right into the clutches of Billy Kidd. Clifton has got a really fast machine. Here comes Clifton to the inside. Myers lost a little bit of ground to Tyler Ferris in the process, and that allowed Clifton to close right on in. Noah Clifton to the inside. This is for 2nd. Side by side for the 2nd position. Noah Clifton is just going to edge him at the line for the spot. They're coming, the 3 to go next time around. Tyler Ferris is out front. He could very well get his 2nd win of the season, but Noah Clifton has gotten a car that has just gotten stronger and stronger all night long, and he has a chance to get up inside. Well, he is already inside of the top 5, but he has a chance to win this thing. 3 to go. Hogan and Myers side by side for 3rd. That's exactly what Clifton wants. Now Hogan clears Myers. And here comes Noah Clifton to the inside. He's going to try to get there. He's on the left rear quarter panel. Or he's trying to get there. 2 laps to go. Here at the Kansas Speedway in the Propel 150. Tyler Ferris trying to become the first 2-time winner in the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. And he's got just a tad bit of a stronger car to do it. Here they come down the back straightaway, coming around to the white flag this time. It's go or go home. It's either go for it or finish 2nd. Here they come, off of turn 4. White flag is out. Final lap here at Kansas. Ferris leads. Will he be leading coming back to the checkered flag? We're just going to have to find that out. Here comes Jimmy Hogan to the inside. Fuel mileage is also coming into play as well. Will that play into the factor? Hogan trying to move up into the 2nd position as they head down the back straightaway for the final time. Noah Clifton up on the outside. He's going to lose the 2nd position. But here they come off of turn 4. History is made. The first 2-time winner in the Pepsi Amateur Series goes to Tyler Ferris. And just like that, Tyler Ferris is back in the points lead. Tyler Ferris is back in it. Oh my goodness, what a great race that we had here at the Kansas Speedway. Great racing all around. And we only had 2 cautions. I believe this may be the best race that we've ever had in the Pepsi Amateur Series, hands down. That's just my opinion. But oh my goodness, Tyler Ferris, man, he gets it done and naps his 2nd win of the season. The first 2-time winner to do so. Noah Clifton put up a hard-fought race, comes short, finishes 3rd. And there's Ryan Fowler. From the sounds of it, he's out of gas. Ryan Fowler is out of gas in the number 78. So he's just coasting around the racetrack. Chances are he's going to lose all of his momentum maybe in turn 3. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it to pit road. But still, your winner, Tyler Ferris in the number 69. So Tyler Ferris, as I mentioned, is your winner for the 2nd time this year. Then it's Jimmy Hogan coming home in 2nd. Noah Clifton, great hard-fought battle for him. Comes home 3rd. Easton Myers 4th. Then it's Billy Kidd completing the top 5. Then it's Nelson Reeves 6th. Then in 7th position, Allison Rain. Great run for her. Ryan Fowler 8th. Stephen Colon 9th. And rounding out your top 10, that is the 25 of Chad Myers. There's the rest of the field scrolling from the left-hand side of your screen. My, oh my. we had ourselves a really great race here at the Kansas Speedway. I do realize this was a couple of days late. Looks like Ryan Fowler in the background has made it to pit road somehow. But, still, we had ourselves a great race. It was a good event for a first mile and a half of the year. Tyler Ferris, he definitely earned that win right there. Just like he earned the one at Talladega, he definitely earned this win. And he did it the hard way. Just by working his way up through the field, getting up to the front, and has just definitely now shaken up the championship picture. I would believe that the point standings are still going to be as close as always. So we're just going to have to wait and see what the points are going to look like. And we are already 2/3 of the way through the season. After tonight, we have now 4 races to go. And the next race will be our first and only dirt track of the season. It's going to be at the Knoxville Speedway for the running of the Mobile One Challenge. That will be in 2 weeks' time at 8 p.m. Eastern. I would say so the time this is going to come out, it's going to come out on the 2nd. So it's actually going to be coming out on the 20th of August. That will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time, as I said. So it's going to be interesting for our first and only dirt race of the season. So hopefully you guys can make it for race number 9 of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series in just 2 weeks' time. Until then, thank you guys a lot for watching. And if you guys like the race, be sure to give it a like. And if you haven't considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. That about does it for me. Here's your point standings coming up next. One more time, congratulations to Tyler Ferris on getting his 2nd win of the season. And I'll see you guys on the very next video. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.